What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Hot Take. Today we are in a 1996 Acura NSX T, T being for the Targa. I am so excited to drive this thing today. This has been one of my dream poster cars I've always wanted to drive. We have, of course, a 5-speed manual, how this car should have only come. Of course, I can't say that until I've driven an auto. Anyway, this has a 270 horsepower V6. VTEC kicks up way high at over 6,000 RPM. And this was the car that beat Ferrari in the 90s. And actually, that was one of its pitfalls, but we'll talk about that today as we drive it and experience the NSX in all of its glory. Very classic Honda beeps and chimes. Some initial impressions. This thing howls. It's a V6, but it reminds you in sound of a V12. It's very low and growly. I mean, it makes sense. It's sort of the similar like engine shape and denominations and whatnot. Holy smokes, this thing is so much fun. Makes the greatest induction noise. The steering is heavy and direct. It's very precise, very little dead on center, sharp. Shifter feels amazing in classic Honda fashion. I know this car wasn't made for this, but this would be a really good Autobahn burner. It kind of has that sort of stature feeling, tons of torque. I mean, even fifth gear. We are sitting at a higher RPM, like 3,400, and it still just has so much torque. It is a VTEC engine, so we get even more torque up top, but man, it's so good. I feel like I just want more gas. I just want to keep hearing the engine as it rings out. Light flywheel. Wow. Inspires so much confidence. Just barely have to lift the throttle to get it to where you need it to be. See if we get some nice noise here on the barrier. I actually think the noise is better from in the car. The car's not very loud from the outside, I get the feeling. So easy to downshift. Second gear is very tall, so we can try something like this. Holy smokes. Alright, enough of that. Window up. I had to try it. Sounds so good. This thing, oh, it's amazing. I love it. If you guys have been viewers of the channel for a while, you know that I'm very partial towards 6-cylinder engines. Inline 6s, V6, VR6s, I love them all. And some V6s sound sort of trumpety, like they're trying to sound like an inline 6. This is a V6 that's trying to sound like a V12, which makes sense for the car that it is. So the NSX was really supposed to be aimed at Ferrari. I mean, look at this color, red on tan. This is the Ferrari colors. But the big problem that Honda had in the NSX run, they sold a ton initially, but owners became too, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say complacent, but became too comfortable in the NSX. And that was the biggest drawback of this car. There wasn't enough drama, enough emotion. Me personally, I think this car has so much. But that's because we're now in an era of modern cars and this car is old. I mean, back in the day, the Ferrari had so much more. This car feels pretty normal. Wow. I'm still blown away by that V12 growl. It's so mean. Gearing is so long. Holy smokes, you can't ring out third without going exactly the speed limit, is what I was going to say. Exactly the speed limit. Wow, and I still had more revs to go. I mean, it revs out so far. It's such a wide power band. Crazy. Here comes Chris. So I have one gripe with this car, and it's not that much of a gripe because you kind of expect that with this sort of car, but it's not very tall person friendly, and the pedal box is very, very thin. Like, I feel like I'm kind of cramped, and no amount of like readjusting really fixes the core issue. But that's the problem with being 6'2", is that when you go to drive cars like this, you got to make it work. I can't even imagine how Doug DeMuro feels being 6'4". Now this is what we came here for. Some twisties. So easy to rev match. So responsive. I'm in awe of this car though. It's that engine noise I'll never get old of. I'm in awe of this car. It's very, everything about it's very direct, it's very planted, and it communicates really well to the driver. I mean, a lot of these 90s Hondas do, but this one especially. I mean, it's the same thing we like about the smaller ones, but in a bigger package. So like the induction noise you get when you downshift. Advantage of mid-engine. So much grip. Perfect downshift, literally perfect. have this car, I'm not gonna say close to the limit because that was nowhere near the limit of this car, but when you have this car, when you're driving it spiritedly, you can actually tell it almost understeers. There's less weight on the front end. We're not gonna be able to get the pass on him. That guy knows what's up. So much thrust up top, and once you hit VTEC, you can feel the power surge. So fast. There's just so much torque, and the gearing being so long really it makes you go really fast in this car because it's long, but it also has the torque to sustain its own long gearing. Also love the notchy gear engagements. It's a really nice like click into gear. Makes a very nice sound, and it's, you know, it's good. I like it. Every Honda shifter, they're all good, but every one of them is a little bit different. And this one, I think, is one of the more notchy ones of all of them, especially compared to the Integra Type R. The Integra Type R, it's notchy and clicky, but you don't hear anything going to gear. It's just like it's like buttery, which is good. I like that. But this has a nice like I don't know if the audio is going to pick this up, but it's a very nice click. Very nice response, very nice input. I like it. Try windows down, pull. Don't mind my water bottle moving around. It's an active G meter down there. Be honest, that was not my proudest 1-2 shift. The car took it like a champ. It cut power though, so I guess this has some sort of traction control of some sort that I'm unaware of. I just want to keep flat-footing to keep hearing the sound. It's so good. usually I take this turn in third gear. I'm going to in this, but I'm in third right now, and I'm not even in the mid-range. I'm like just starting to approach the mid-range. Handles the elevation change really well. Wow. Truly, truly a fantastic driving car. So much power up top. Oh my God. So we've now finished our test drive of the 1996 Acura NSX, and this was a meet your hero car. It is so fast, so responsive. That V6 just wants to rev and rev and rev, and just there's no end to the torque. And the more you push in the turns, the more the car is like go, go, go. And it really just inspires so much confidence in the driver. This is one of my favorite cars I've ever driven. And on that strong note, let's go ahead and give the Acura NSX a score. The score is as shown. It ties with the BMW E36 and E46 M3, which sounds about right. Performance-wise, they are on par, with each having their own cons respectively. The NSX scores higher than the Integra Type R, which is also no surprise, given it's a lot more car for the same money. Should you buy it? The Acura NSX is a 90s car icon. Given its icon halo status though, it comes at a hefty price tag. The cheapest ones sell around 60 grand and it just goes up from there, which is a lot for a car like this without a Ferrari V8 or a Lamborghini V12. However, even though it may not be a Ferrari, you get to enjoy something with a good level of that feel and exoticness without the added maintenance penalty or aggravation to own. It's a shame for the NSX. What made the NSX's own grave when it was new wound up being the very thing we like the most about it 30 years later. Too little, too late.